Welcome back to the warm-up presented by Ford. Kemba Walker and the 8-1 Boston Celtics playing host to the Washinton Winzards. One of the early games tonight starting at 7:30 as we try to get our fantasy lineup set. Let's welcome in friend of the program, Tim Doyle. Okay, let's get right down to business. Raptors without OG Anunoby for at least tonight's game in Portland after he suffered a right eye contusion. Does this make Pascal Siakam a must start?
Must. Absolutely. I feel like when Kawhi Leonard left Toronto, he looked at Pascal Siakam just like Tupac had the juice in that movie, then Omar Epps had it. Now Pascal Siakam, he's got the juice, and his usage is through the roof. Last year, Chris, he only took 12 shots a game. This year, he's averaging over 20 shots. So 12 shots last year, 20 shots this year. You know, he only made one three-pointer, his entire rookie season. Now he's averaging 2 threes a night. So he's really evolved as an offensive player. Obviously, he's got long arms, excellent rebounder. He's always good for a steal or two, I felt like, from a fantasy perspective. But you know, with OG out, his eyes are going to be as big as basketballs. He's going to be taking a lot of shots tonight.
Okay, so we went over the must start. How about a guy that could be a steal, Kyle Kuzma, no longer rusty, 23 points in 25 minutes against the Suns. Is he a guy that is a good value, good steal?
I think he's a great steal tonight with no Anthony Davis in the lineup, and obviously the Lakers on a second half of a back-to-back. Hey, when you play with LeBron and Anthony Davis and you miss the first couple of games, you got to figure out, where do I fit? Like, do I run to the corner here? Like, where is it time for me to go out there and get buckets? So with no AD out there, you know, this is a guy that averaged 18 points a game last year, as well as 2.5 steals, which you love from a fantasy perspective. But with no Anthony Davis, I think we're going to see increased minutes. Plus, he's going to be playing with that swag and confidence after that great game against the Suns. I think he's an amazing value. I think he's cheap. I think you have to put him in your lineup tonight.
Whenever you're playing fantasy, you look at a Mike D'Antoni team, you go, okay, thumbs up, we're going to have some of those guys. But they're facing the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard tonight. Any trepidation?
Well, Kawhi's playing, right? And then he's not playing tomorrow. It's like you're trying to figure out, is this going to be Kawhi with the Clippers? Because if he's not playing, it's going to be easy to score in them. Hey, when the Clippers locked down, and they did to the Raptors, they held the Raptors to 10 points in the fourth quarter last out. But how are you going to stop the Rockets? I mean, especially with no Eric Gordon, Westbrook and Harden know they're going to take all of the shots in every single game. And Harden's numbers are just through the roof. Just talk about getting to the free throw line at an ungodly-like level. He's taking 15 free throws a game, and he's hoisting up 14 threes a game. So only Wilt Chamberlain shot more free throws in that season where he averaged 50 when he shot in 17 a game. You know, Westbrook over his last 2 games averaging 26 points. So if I had to choose between these two guys, I would go with Harden. I think he's the safer bet. But I think you have to go out there and play these guys because their usage is going to be through the roof.
Those shot attempts sounds like you're talking about an entire team, not just a single player. I mean, it's incredible. Okay, so Ja Morant costing you about $7,200. Terry Rozier about $7,000. I mean, that's like in the same neighborhood. Memphis versus Charlotte. So of those two guys that are essentially the same cost, who has the better value?
You know, this is hard because Ja's my guy, right? If you don't know, I have 2 kids. If I have a third, it's going to be named Ja Morant Doyle, middle name Morant. That's how much I love Ja Morant. But I got to pump the brakes on this one, Chris, because he's on the road. And the numbers on the road this year have been awful. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Look at the shooting percentage. Below 35%. He can't make a 3. And this is just typical rookie stuff, right? He's just not playing with that confidence or that swag that he does at home. I think this guy is going to be an NBA All-Star. I think he's going to be an MVP one day of the NBA. That's how high I am on him. But Coach Borrego there wants Terry Rozier to be the leader of this team. I think he needs to take better shots. He's only shooting 39% from the field and 34% from 3. We all remember Scary Terry in the playoffs when he went crazy. I want to see him be more consistent night after night. Devontae Graham's getting the start tonight, so those two guys should be playing at a very fast pace, a lot of possessions, a lot of points. So between Morant and Rozier, I'm sorry, Ja, I got to go with Terry.
All right, so we see some of the guys you're picking, so I have a feeling we know who's going to be on the Doyle's daily starting lineup. So let's take a look at it. Break it down for me. Okay, I see Siakam and Harden, but Isiah Thomas for the Wizards?
Yeah, how about this? I got redemption all over the place here. You got Isiah going up against his former squad, and then you got Markelle Fultz going up against his former squad. So I'm hoping to press the right buttons tonight with guys that want revenge against their old squads. I think Bertans is going to be in a game that's going to be up and down, and who's going to box out Bryant? That's my biggest concern right now with the Celtics is they're going to be able to score a lot of points, but where's going to be their inside presence? And I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I've said this before. I think they're the hardest team to guard at full strength in the entire NBA. But now that Hayward's out, you're going to see Brown, Tatum, Kemba get a lot more shots in that game. So you want to see a lot of points. You want to see a lot of scoring. But tonight, in the NBA, it's redemption night, Chris.
Yeah, Davis Bertans, someone you have on that list, got his against the Spurs, was 7 for 7 against them earlier in the season. So I like where your head is at. Okay, Tim Doyle, our guy. Appreciate you, my friend.
You got it, Chris.
Bradley Beal, it's like every time he steps on the court, he's looking for revenge. The guy's been playing at an incredible level for about 3 years now. Wizards, Celtics tip off at 7:30. Watching a warm-up presented by Ford. Two of the best out west will meet at the Toyota Center in Houston tonight. The Clippers taking on the Rockets at 7:30 Eastern. Let's welcome in Matt Bullard, former Rocket and member of the Houston broadcast team. Matt, we get two teams with identical records tonight at 7-3, 6 straight wins between them. Okay, Eric Gordon out the next 6 weeks. How important was he in his role on this team so far this season, and what are they missing with him out?
Yeah, Eric Gordon's loss is going to be big for the Rockets. Even though Eric has gotten off to a very slow start shooting the basketball this season, the Rockets are really going to miss him. Mike D'Antoni always wanted to have at least 2 of the 3 guards on the floor at all time, with James, Russell, and Eric Gordon on the 2 of those 3 on the floor at all times. But now with Eric Gordon being out, that opens up the door for some of the guys on the Rockets bench. Ben McLemore will get the start here tonight, and he'll have a chance now to carve out some time. Thabo Sefolosha will be another guy that will be looked at to fill in. So some of the guys that have been working hard down the bench are going to get an opportunity, and those are big shoes to fill for Eric Gordon.
You know, Matt, as a long-range sniper yourself, there's no better person to really judge this Rockets team in their three-point shooting ability and their ups and downs than you, considering the career that you had and how well you shot the basketball. So when you look at the Rockets offensively, are they anywhere close to where you think they can be from an offensive standpoint? Or are they just getting started?
Yeah, Zeke, they're just getting started. And the Rockets take the most threes of any team in the NBA. They try to score at the rim or behind the three-point line. They try to minimize the mid-range jumpers. But as a team, the Rockets are only down around 32% from the three-point line. So Mike D'Antoni says we're getting the open shots. They're generating open shots, but the shooters are just not making them. So when that starts to happen, when the Rocket shooters start to make the threes, just think about the number of points that they'll be able to put up on the board. The Rockets averaging, I think about 115 points a game, but when the Rockets shooters start making the threes, that'll be up to 130, 140 a night, and that's the kind of basketball that I like to watch, is high-scoring, up-tempo type scoring basketball. And Mike D'Antoni's pushing the pace this season. Russell Westbrook doing a really good job of making the Rockets play faster. So the Rockets offense is still a work in progress, and they are still waiting on somebody to get hot from the three-point line.
It's still a work in progress. I mean, this is a team that scored 159 points in a regulation game this season. So stop me if you heard this before. The Rockets, again, 3rd in offensive rating, but 20th in defensive rating. 2 years ago, when they were 7th in defensive rating, we believed in them as a team that can win the championship. Are there any signs that they'll get back to that on defense?
Yeah, that's the question. Is everyone hears defense wins championships, and I don't necessarily buy that. I mean, in order to win a championship, you have to be able to play defense. You also have to be able to put points on the board. And if you're playing against the Rockets, you have to put a lot of points on the board in order to beat them. But the defensive end is really where the Rockets have to improve. Clint Capella has gotten a lot better for the Rockets over the last few games. He's gotten into better shape. So he's been a better defensive anchor and defensive rebounder for the Rockets. But the Rockets play the switching type defense. So they're asking their guys to switch all over the floor. And the communication and the effort level on the defensive end is something that still needs work.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean, the Wizards scored 158 points against the Rockets and lost that one. So
hey, Matt,
we've seen it happen before.
Matt, you're being really kind. The defense needs a lot of work.
It does need a lot of work. If you and I were playing right now, we'd be getting a lot of open looks against the Rockets defense.
Yeah, but we would be giving up a lot of points too.
That's only because we're old. We can't move our feet anymore.
That is
Back
true.
in the day, we'd have been good.
That is true.
I can imagine that, a little pick and pop with you two. It'd be amazing. All right, Matt, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Nikola Vucevic and his Orlando Magic, they have the best defense in the NBA this season. Their offense, not so much. They'll look to get it going against the 76ers tonight. It's with the Mavericks and Knicks at 8. Nets and Nuggets take the court at 10:30. The Nuggets, the only team on that list above 500 right now, and the Mavericks, or the two West Coast teams rather, 7-3 and 6-4. Crunch time coming up next right here on NBA TV, presented by Taco Bell. Brendan Hayward, he just left us hanging, Zeke. He's
always,
over there hanging out with Jared.
You know, anytime you say something about Taco Bell, you know he gone.
So you're saying Brendan leaves us to go get a little food from Taco Bell to do that show?
Yeah, and then he talk about crunch time, but he's really over there getting a couple of tacos.
All right, for Brendan and Zeke, I'm Chris Miles. Thanks for warming up with us.